It's a beautiful morning and you're welcome to the program Good Morning Anambra right here on ABS TV. And this morning we are kickstarting the show by bringing your way the stories making the headlines on national dailies and also our website, that is ABS website this morning. And as usual, we have reviewers seated right here in the studio with us this morning. Well, we are going to take a short break and when we come back, you get to meet our reviewers and then we go straight into discussion. And also to remind you that you can be part of the show this morning, wherever you are. All you need to do is just for you to dial the number that will be displayed in front of your television set this morning. My name is Chidimma Oranwa. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, you're welcome back. And our guests this morning are Simon Nwafo Ezoforma. He's a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Simon.
Good morning, Ndi Anambra and all our viewers. Good morning to you.
And we also have with us this morning Samuel Egwatu. Samuel Egwatu is also a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Samuel.
Good morning, Ndi Anambra Kenemun.
All right, quickly, let's start with the story trending on the ABS website this morning. Police rescue 15 abducted NYSC members along Iseke Ihiala Road. That's the first story we have on ABS website. And the second one, Anambra State Joint Enforcement Team arrest over 48 illegal revenue collectors, touts. Anambra State government suspends payment and collection of all flying revenues. Okay, let's start with you, Simon. From what we read out on ABS website this morning, which of the stories would you want to, speak on?
Let me start from the Anambra State Task Force arresting illegal
revenue collectors. Okay.
Because that is it is a welcome development. I had the governor when he was interacting with the Anambra indigenous. And there were reports from different quarters. And that thing is a stigma on the administration's image. Because the governor promised that there will be that touting is not a profession.
Yes.
And then, because people were seeing them, the people were lamenting what they are still going through. In short, I was hearing live the other day at Oba Junction, the keke drivers, the tricycle drivers, they were lamenting in a radio station that they agreed to be paying the governor's this thing as discussed. But these people are still extorting money from them. So what I'm saying is, governor taking that step, because I had the governor promised that they will look into it, and he followed it with action. That was done on Monday. Then by Tuesday or Wednesday, I think that is a welcome development. We need to sanitize the state, because most of the people who are doing this are not from this place. They are just trying to mess everywhere up, as the governor said. So I thank the governor, I thank the task force. May it be continued until we have sanity in our system.
All right, thank you so much for that. Over to you, Samuel.
All right. I wish to comment on the police rescue 15 abducted NYSC members along Iseke Ihiala Road. This is a very welcome development. In fact, as a matter of fact, when I heard the news, I was concerned, because these are our future leaders, or the leaders of today, that the hoodlums, the arsonists want to deal with. Imagine what would have been if the police did not intervene and rescue them. And again, this is to tell us that, of a truth, the governor of Anambra State and the security agents are working together to make sure that Anambra State is quite secured. I would just want to understand the reason for the abduction. What are they going to stand to gain? I know those people that did that is young guys. Abducting your young fellow guys like that who have decided to serve the nation in our state. You know, it could have been a different story altogether that there was no intervention from a police team. But, and again, I want to advise these people doing these things along that Iseke Road and Lilu and Ehala. They should desist from such. There is no gain. There is no gain. From the paper I read, there's in the full details that they ran away when they saw police team shooting and moving towards that direction. They ran away. What would have been their outcome? That one was get down? It would have been a different story. But people should think before they act. And again, to this touting collection of illegal revenue, it's quite unfortunate that some people, they want development and they are, I don't know how to say, they're fighting the way to development. You are collecting this illegal revenue illegally without the support or the notice of even returning to the state government that we use it for development. Like the first speaker said, these guys, most of them are not from this state, to be honest with us. And they claim that it is their right. I want to say it again and to thank the security and the Joint Task Force team to increase the pace at which they used to catch these people. And they'll be dealt with mercilessly. Because if the state government is not receiving direct task from the revenue they are generating, how then are we going to develop our state? People will be talking, there is no good road network, there is no development, infrastructures in our schools. How would that happen? Would governor do magic? So I am advising these touts per se, because last time I heard over the news, along Obaru axis, the KK people, they said every morning in the morning they will pay 500 naira at Oba axis, they will pay 1,000 naira at Obaru axis, they will pay 700 naira. At the end of the day, you see that these guys are extorting these KK drivers.
They're actually working for them.
Working, you know, they cannot. You see a young man who decided to do something and help the family or help himself and go and carry KK hire purchase. At the end of the day, instead of getting something home and then paying to the state government as agreed, you see these touts conniving with other people and collecting this money. And I want to suggest again, all the Joint Task Force team in different locations like Oba axis, Obaru axis, on its axis, they should literally be a daily routine activities so that to checkmate all this, because these guys, they will, if they have agreed that they'll be paying straight to the government purse through the channel the government, the IGR provided for them, then why these guys extorting from them? This is a clear day robbery. So they need to deal with. I want to thank the ANJANT, that is the Anambra Joint Task Force team, for what they have been doing so far. And again, please, even the masses, they should come in. Whenever you see something, you say something. Right. Last time, the governor provided the security code numbers. See, call them. So they'll be arrested. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Quickly, let's go back to our first paper under review this morning, and that is the Daily Sun newspaper. Banner headlines there. Old Naira note, Supreme Court overrules CBN as violent protests spread. That's the banner headline in the front page of the Sun newspaper. We have riders under it. 5 Fed killed. Banks, ATMs, POS, political parties, billboard raised. Old Naira notes remain legal tender, Apex Court. IPOB, Finland considers way to address EPA's activities, concerned over threats issued from its land. Sanwo-Olu warns against the rejection of old Naira notes. Edo orders arrest of Oshimele over masterminding protest. Supreme Court dismisses suit against Abia PDP 3-man delegate list. No intimidation will cow us to stop protests against EFCC chair, CSO's leaders. FEC approves the cargo tracking scheme for ports nationwide. And then election, we are watching Nigeria carefully, UN. IPOB warns against attack on Igbo electorate in Nigeria. Okay.
So many things to say. I don't know where to start.
Somewhere.
Let me start from the demonstrations about the old Naira note. I plead with our people. Let us exercise patience. Let us not overreact. And then I will also ask politicians not to overheat the politics. Just like the governor now is saying that somebody is inciting the people in Edo State or so on. But also to the federal government and the CBN, I want us to know, just as I used to say, that every policy of government or governance will be targeted at bringing the greatest happiness to the greatest number. When that is not achieved, then the aim is defeated. So government need to look back and know the policy they are taking. Before you implement any policy, make sure you weigh it very well so that it will not be counterproductive. This Naira swap is a very good policy. Then the target to check the politicians, it's a very good one. But the way it's implemented, look at the reactions everywhere. People are suffering. People are in hardship. So the aim is not then achieved. And then, just as many people have died because of it, the Supreme Court coming in and so on and so on, others and counter others, then it is left to the government to review their stand and know whether there is anything that could be done to avoid the impending danger. The Bible says that a prudent man sees danger and hides himself. But the fool will go on and suffer for it. So let us not allow this situation to get to a place where it will be, civil violence, or it will not be uncontrollable. That is my take on that. Then coming to IPOB and what they are saying, I'm very happy and about the stand of IPOB. I think some people are trying to be just deviants in the society, just causing hardship for other people. So the young man in Finland, or whatever is his name, and his cohorts, let them stop inflicting hardship and the suffering and fears upon Igbo land. We are not known for this type of life. I don't know why somebody will be happy in seeing others suffering. Let them not overheat the polity. Let me stop so far.
All right.
All right. I want to comment through the writer said, 5 fear killed, banks, ATMs, POS, political parties, billboard raised. Actually, what's happening now is quite painful, especially this Naira swap, old Naira, new Naira notes. A lot of people are suffering. We are undergoing, I call it different pains. I want the CBN to make available this new Naira notes. There is no need keeping them. They should have done their calculation very well, so that when this will start, as it has started now, at least if it is 70% in circulation, people's pains will be reduced to a barest minimum. And CBN, I mean, the commercial banks that are not helping the situation too. Last time we saw when EFCC arrested, accosted some of the bank holding the new Naira note. For what? I'm not saying that the CBN interest or agenda is not bad. It's a welcome development. Exactly, to checkmate the excesses of Naira in circulation. And we had that over 3 trillion or so of Naira out there. But the ones they have in bank, just to consummate it, there's no data for it. Which means they stocked this money in people's houses, and which we've seen on news and everywhere, wasted naira note. These people is weak, is out of wickedness. Someone's talking 22 billion in his house because of what? While others are dying out of hunger. And again, is a court matter though, but Supreme Court in Nigeria, I want us to be obeying laws, not only when it is going to favor us. Like all these governors that are running to court as a rejoinder to be part of this case, that they should extend the collection of old naira note and the usage of old naira note in circulation. I mean, they are part of the problem we're having. Sorry to say this, because this is my opinion though, not ABS opinion. Because if they are doing their own part, I don't think that this scarcity of new naira will be an issue. So again, the attacks on commercial banks, I am begging our youth and everybody, please let us take it easy. Yes, the situation is too hard on us. In Nigeria, everything is possible. But let us know that these people working in bank, they are not the policy makers. They are not the ones that made the policy. What they are doing there is to serve us, and them themselves, they are even not happy about it. Because every time they keep receiving threats, you are my account officer, you marketed, and I open account with you, and now you don't want to give money, as if they are the ones taking this money. Let us know that this is very hard, but let government do more. Tell the CBN to release at least even 50% of this one to be in circulation. It will go a long way to help. Again, those states warning Shemole for protest. These are the problem we're having. Why are you inciting the young ones to go out and protest? We all can see, we saw what happened in social media, what he was telling them to intimidate. They should intimidate other political parties. For what? That is, the politics is highly heated now. That why are you causing more? And I would ask them, where is their children? If our youth can stand up and say no, if you are asking me to go and cause mayhem out there, call your children, call your son, call your daughter, call your in-laws, let them go and do first, then follow them. But the matter is, because I'll call it a hunger in the system, and I don't know how our people calculate, I don't know how our people think. The young ones, once they give you 10,000 to go and waste your life, and before you know it, when you are arrested, you'll be rotting in the cells, and they'll go on with their business as usual. So the politicians should help us again. It's not a must that they will go back there and maintain in that order. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Quickly, let's see what we have in the front page of the National Light and the Cordita newspaper. Let's start with the National Light. Confusion over status of old naira notes. That's the banner headline in that front page of the National Light newspaper. We still have the riders there. Affected denominations should remain legal tender. Supreme Court. No going back on naira redesign policy. CBN 9 states join naira swap suit. Police rescue 15 abducted Imo NYC members in Anambra. Okay, we've talked about that. And then murder dumps baby in Kano toilet. Illegal revenue agent Ocha Brigade arrests 3 suspects in Oka. World Radio Day, UNESCO stresses radio as megaphones of peace. And then we can see up there, Mbazulike Amechi, national hero. This is coming from our governor, Soludo. Police stab soldier to death in Lagos. Court disbands Ebubeago. All right, quickly, Cordita newspaper. Soludo agala letter ebo on arogasi okporozo gbape ọrụ ọhụrụ edora ndị ọkaikpe abụọ n'ọrụ na Anambra State. All right, these are the stories in the front page of Cordita and the National Light. So quickly.
Okay, let me pick the comment of Soludo about Mbazulike Amechi. That man is a true nationalist. He was a true nationalist. And I was listening to him live when he was explaining how he got that name, the boy is good. And he continued to be good until his death. I thank God for his life. And I will urge all of us to emulate his way of life. He was a patriotic. He was a nationalist to the core. Under Zik, in the Zikist movement, I was listening to him the day he was explaining how Zik was how there was a plot to assassinate Zik. And he stood his ground in Lagos. And the people were attacking him. He was shouting, until he made sure that plot was foiled. And that is how he continued. Even till his death, he begged Buhari for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to be released. Let that be a gift he will give him before he leaves the earth. He begged him to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to him, showing patriotism. So I thank God for his life. And I will also ask our leaders to emulate suit, so that we will be service-oriented. We will be giving a selfless service, showing the way for others to follow.
All right. Let's see our next paper. That is the National Star newspaper this morning. INEC experts profile solutions to election crisis. That's the big story there. Everybody free to view results from portal. BVAS unassailable, can't be manipulated, INEC. And then CBN must release all monies due INEC this week. Omar. We have up there IPC rating going down daily. Governor Keredolu cries out. Ex-Emir Sanusi visits Kano, says, I only stopped over to greet my mother. 47 communities sacked by bandits in Buhari's home state may not vote in election. Okay, Buhari's home state may not vote in election, coming from Umar. Nigerians on rampage. The Supreme Court adjourns Naira swap suit to February 22nd. Angry bank customer destroy bank's ATMs used in Edo State. Okay, these are many more what we have in front page of the National Star newspaper. We still have Nigeria's inflation rate surges to 21.82%. This is coming from the MBS. All right, over to you, Samuel.
Okay, let me take on INEC.
Okay.
Experts profile solutions to election crisis. We've said it time without number that the progress, the unity, and success of our country at this point in time lies largely on the outcome of this general election that will be conducted by INEC. Whatever that is going to happen to make sure that we have free, fair election must be done by them. Using BVAS, making sure that BVAS work at its utmost capacity. You know, whatever solution they are going to profile without considering rigging using the BVAS it has no meaning. While we are having all this pains and stress in this country is as a result of their conduct. Why I say this as a result of their conduct is the participation during election, who you elected, how they carry out the result of the election. Because if we say that our vote will count and on the day BVAS misfunction, I don't think our vote will still count. This 2023 election, as we all know, holds a greater thing to this country. If we are going forward during election, after election, post and pre and post election, it lies on INEC participation. So let it be whatever solution making BVAS to work, whatever that will make them not to work at their own highest capacity. Maybe under it, they rather say CBN must release all the money due for them this week. They should do so that they will not have any reason to fail. They will not have any reason to fail. Any solution, releasing of the funds to them, making the machines to work, BVAS to work, and providing security for those electorate that's going to vote that day is highly welcome. Thank you.
All right, let's see what we have on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning. We still see the story of hovering around the new Naira note. We are seeing here as the banner headline, violence spreads in state and 3 killed, banks burnt. We've talked about that. And if you see the pictures there, you see where the banks, the cars, and the people were just running helter-skelter. Now, up there we can see Naira, why APC governors rejected federal government settlement terms, says El Rufai. Private sector blames fuel scarcity as inflation hits 21.8%. Wike, 4 orders not relevant outside PDP, PCC spokesman. Amechi absent at Tinubu Rivers rally. And then marketers ignore federal government sell petrol for over 230 naira per litre. Evans ordered to pay kidnapped victim 233,000 euros and 15 million naira. Soldiers are avenging colleagues' death by killing Cobb burnt station. All right, so.
Let me start from Amechi, not present at Wike Tinubu, this thing. Just
Tinubu rally.
Yes.
Not Wike and Tinubu.
Wike and Tinubu discussion.
Amechi wasn't present at it.
That's what I'm saying. Wike went to Amechi, Tinubu and Co. went to meet Wike now. Then Amechi was not there and they rallied. So that will show you. One thing is certain. Even this, this protest everywhere now, just like my colleague said, and then the APC governors, just like El Rufai, you can see that these people are not. What they are fighting is the policy because it is against them. It's not that they are protecting the people or they are after the welfare of the masses. What they're after is their selfish interest. Look at Wike. Look at how he's been going back and front, causing confusion here and there. He's not ashamed. Look at Amechi now, who is the pilot of Buhari Tinubu regime, is now at the back. Then Wike is now doing pari-pari with Tinubu. It's very unfortunate. And he has been deceiving some people, thinking that he is saying that he is against power, shifting to the north. But he is actually after his own interest. Because he contested as far as I'm concerned, what I used to say, I'm not even concerned with any of their comments or their movements. I say let the confusion continue. Let them never agree until the purpose or the divine purpose is achieved. Because as you see the confusion in all their camps, PDP, APC, this and that, even this Naira swap, it is all direct towards the same direction. Because let them continue in the confusion. Now we have seen the APC governors, Oshiomhole and so, working against the federal government they instituted. Now the governors are coming together because of their selfish interest. And then some are on the side of the federal government. So we are only pleading, we are only praying that God will make his purpose to be fulfilled in this nation. As for these people who call themselves leaders, they are not leaders. They are after their pockets and their future welfare of their families.
Okay. Do you want to add anything to that quickly?
Yes. Yeah, quickly. Let me just rather say that Naira, why APC governors rejected federal government settlement terms? I don't know what El Rufai wants to or intends to achieve. I am confused because, like my colleague said lastly, these governors, they are so selfish. Sorry to use, not all of them, most of them, some of them, sorry. Why are they coming out now? I thought this government, they said that it's the best government so far. Now they are now fighting it because it's coming against them. It's quite unfortunate that if the masses, those people that used to vote them will listen, now the time again has come for the vote. We have to sit up and most times I do ask my colleagues, do we normally watch after election, watch the character and behaviors of all these people that we voted in? How are they taking us? Before voting them, you have to sit there and compare and contrast. If I vote you, we know all these people, they didn't come from moon. We know their track records. So APC now rising and fighting against the government they instituted, most of them governors. This is complete sabotage because it's affecting them now. They should see what we, the poor masses, have seen for how many years they've been in power. 8 good solid years. So whatever they are doing is for their so selfish interest. Again, I want to touch the one that said marketers ignore federal government sell petrol for over 230. Nigeria would like to kill ourselves. We would like to suffer ourselves. And again, if government is not active, you will know by their policy. It is not making policies or saying I will do this or this. If there is no implementation, it cannot work. And why are they not implementing it? Because 70% of them is part of the business. Petrol, I don't know, they have from the pump, from the depot or wherever they are getting it from the first place of getting it, the price has not increased. But they get it and come down to their stations and begin to sell it at a high price. Last week, I bought fuel at total here 195 naira. Enugu 118 naira. But some places you buy fuel of 450 naira, 500 naira, 350. For what? Why are we like suffering ourselves? This is sheer wickedness. I must say it. When the government is not getting it right, we will see it by their policy or implementation of the policies. Because last time, I think late last month or early this month, Mr. President said that as a matter of fact, this price of petrol, the increase, should come down. And I started seeing some saying 200, some saying 230, but some still saying 450, 350. Is it not wickedness? This is when government is not working. Please, if you are hearing us and you are part of this, desist from it. We are causing pain to each other.
Now that, just like you said, that it's not all about bringing out policy. Now that these people are defying orders from the federal government, I mean the marketers, what should be done?
Immediately to be arrested. Okay. So to close down their stations. They know them. They have them because, for instance, if JJI petrochemicals is part of it, JJI, if you are into petroleum business, you are a big shot. You cannot hide. You understand me? So if JJI is part of it, what stops you from taking the certificate from JJI? What stops you from taking the certificate of ABZ? Because these people, at the end of it, they will go at the back and do their PR. And that is why all these, what they call this arm that from petrol, DPR, Department of Petroleum Resources, they're not doing their work. Nupeng, I don't know, I thought they have their tax force. Those selling on a high price. You see, money have exchanged hands. That's why it's going this way. People are suffering. If they can stand and say, please, these are brothers, we don't need to do this time around. Now we are crying for Naira swap, petroleum high increase. How are we going to survive?
All right, quickly, let's see what we have on the front pages of this Delhi Independent and This Day newspaper. Let's start with Delhi Independent. New Naira scarcity, 3 feared dead as protests rock Edo Delta, Oyo and Ondo. And now we are leaving that because we've talked about that. Let's see other stories. Northern Elders Forum to announce the presidential choice in days. Inflation rises to 21.82% in January as food prices soar. And then Edo accuses Oshimole of instigating Bini riots, wants him arrested. Scores of anti-corruption CSOs join Bawa Must Go protest. And then we can still see there, court orders Evans to refund 233,000 euros ransom taken from kidnapped victim. JAMB extends UTM ES registration to February 22nd. Registered 1,527,068 candidates. Okay, so this day newspaper is next. Higher food commodity prices push inflation to 21.82%. Severe in Lagos, Bauchi, Ondo, and others. Tinubu, we need authority to change life for prosperity. Stick to February 10 deadline, Shehu Sani tells federal government. And then, okay, other stories there is still about Edo accusing Oshimole of masterminding protests, riots, and calls for his arrest. Look elsewhere for blame, not me. Ex-governor fires back. Okay. Simon.
Let me touch inflation, and now we combine it with the bandits in Buhari state, that the citizens may be disenfranchised because of the activities of the bandits. What I want to say is the PMB is almost coming to the end of its administration. And we are still experiencing all this. Just as my colleague said, the question you threw, I wanted to give my own answer. You know, in law, we used to say, he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. Now, because the people who claim to, PNB is the petroleum minister as today. And look at what we're experiencing in the petroleum industry. In a Senate climb, the minister ought to have resigned. And one wonders why he insisted. The other day he appointed a committee to investigate, to look at this and that. And insisting that he must maintain that position while nothing has improved. Why must he maintain the position of the petroleum minister? If somebody is not performing, and that is what we always continue to experience. So what I'm saying is, let him buy, and he will be going around saying that he has performed, that he has satisfied Nigerians, that he has fulfilled all his promises. One wonders, is it in the moon or where? Bandits are depriving your people from voting. Bandits are occupying territories. Inflation everywhere. So that is the point. The point I'm making is, if his scoreboard, what would we score him now that he is ending his administration? Nothing is in shape. We are going from frying pan to fire. People are suffering. People are anguished. Then when you come to northern elders saying that they will soon announce, I think that our leaders and the ethnic groups, they should be giving advice and not to come and stand that we are endorsing this, and because these are some of the things that bring tribalism and ethnicity. It's just focus on the policy, advise the government, and advise the politicians. Look for better candidate to vote.
Okay.
Do this, and so on and so forth.
All right. Let's also quickly see the front pages of The Guardian and The Nation newspaper this morning. Let's start with The Guardian. The big story there is still about Naira redesign. I hope deferred. The Supreme Court adjourned suit to February 22nd. And we have up there how presidential candidates pay influencers to peddle fake news on social media by CDID report. And then protesting CSO accused Bawa of infiltration to save EFCC job. Presently, North has a 4-year deficit, suffered more under Buhari, says Ango Abdullahi. Cash scarcity, protest Rogbini worry and Lorry, okay. Afenifere, YCEO, PC, others blast IGP over allegation of armed stockpiling in Southwest. And then the next paper is The Nation newspaper this morning. Out of court settlement talks on Naira crisis collapse. Federal government governors disagree on CBN's claim that old notes have been burnt. Buhari to address nation today. I think he has done that. And then 4 killed in Nigeria is scarcity violence. Poverty is so awful, but bats can push it away. Vote wisely. That's on the top page of The Nation newspaper this morning. And down there, Wike, Tinubu turned down PDP's offer to sabotage Buhari in 2019 election. APC candidate is the man Nigeria needs now, says Rivers governor. Punish PDP for reneging on power shift, says APC chair. Okay, Samuel, we've seen the stories trending on the front pages of the two papers. So which of the story would you want to talk on?
Okay, let me go to Guardian. That said, protesting CSOs accused Bauer of infiltration to save EFCC job. I said it earlier and I want to say it again. I'm not here to malign or maybe insult anyone, but what I want to say is let our court institutions work at its best. If Bauer was indicted and the court said you have to go and answer for it at the correctional center, what is he waiting for? That is why we said we have 2 citizens in this country. I want to tell you that a Southerner cannot do this and still remain there. It is not possible. And such office as EFCC, why is Bauer, what is he still doing there? If you are not what they said, first of all, obey the court order. Go in there and appeal the judgment. You see, in our country, why things are going the way it is going now is because the rule of law is at its low pace. Look at Nigeria and look at the office he is holding. Such office, and you are inducted as the chairman or the head of that parastatal, and you are asked to do this and you disobey, and you still have the temerity to go and arrest people or to do whatever you are carrying out your job. Yes, last night I was watching Prime Minister of Scotland. She honorably resigned just because of a little thing. Scotland. But here in Nigeria, even if that person killed his fellow colleague before the camera, he will tell the reason why he's not going to go and answer for the case. That is it. Nigeria, I don't know how we are playing this way in this country, but rule of law, please, people in that department or in that sector should do something about it. Let Bauer go and answer his questions there, wherever they are called or whatever the court has said. Again, presidency, North has 4-year deficit. Suffered more under Buhari, says Ango Abdullahi. Most times, this statesman, Ango Abdullahi, sometimes he talks from the two sides of his mouth. Sorry to say it. How is not suffering how is not have 4 years deficit? If we calculate it, we see it. How comes he's saying it coming from him as well? And again, he said they suffer more under Buhari. Are they not the one that has been championing Buhari's movement during that time, 2015? What is he saying now? Because maybe to him as a person, I see that it didn't favor him, or he didn't get what he was looking for. So let this elder statesman should watch what they say. To me, this statement is quite inciting. You cannot tell me that not is lacking 4 years, or they have deficit of 4 years. For what? How? So this not we should mind what they said, and they should know what they say at a particular point in time. This kind of statement should not have come from Ango Abdullahi, and at this point in time to say that they have suffered more. How did they suffer more? They have if you check the chairman of the EFCC from North, you call them from North, how are they suffering?
Okay, well, on that note, I want to say very big thank you. We really don't have time again. Would have gone on and on, but then our time is up. Thank you so much, Simon for joining us on the show this morning.
Thank you very much, and our viewers, I wish us all the best. And they pray that God will give us good leaders who will make this nation better place for the citizens.
All right, thank you so much for that closing remark. And also to you, Samuel Egwatu, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I want to encourage all of us, all the citizens out there, please, all this stuff we are suffering now, this is another time to correct every ill that we are passing through. So please make sure on the day, on the 25th of February, please be bold, take your card, PVC, go and vote in the right person. Let's forget sentiment and let's get it right. Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you so much for being part of the show this morning. That's it on Press Review. My name is Chidimma Oranwa. We're going to take a short break right now, but we'll see you at the other side. Stay with us.